Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Kinda thought that was actually a dog outside when I came across this. Merch. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io, but if you want the most up-to-date version and or support them making this game, then you can go to Patreon. For reference, I'm playing this on November the 26th. It came out the 25th, but you guys can't play it unless you subscribe until I think it's Christmas? Yeah. At which point I can't post this until Christmas because, that's just how things work. Oh, and I think I said how much it is on Patreon. It's like $5 a month. I have the thing right here. Yeah. Or $50 a year. Anyways, let's continue on our journey. Oh yeah, I didn't exactly remember. Like, we're bringing the cats to the shelter, but then we were, what was it? Ambushed by the cats or betrayed by them, and ambushed by Shackbark. Because it do be like that sometimes. Let's make sure my face is okay, which it isn't. And continue. The butter knife slices through the tiger's forearm, making his limb blood fold on himself. Ooh. Held only by a layer of skin. Even a dull blade like that is deadly weapon in Rune Moon's hand. However, the husky is too hurt, and the poison in his blood keeps him too sluggish to follow up. His arm snaps back in place, and the cut heals with barely any blood loss. I feel like that would hurt a lot still. As light, the bright color's healing effect reflects in the tiger's toothy grin. The dog swings to stab his heart, but the panther lunges at him from the side and intercepts Rune's wrist with his red-hot claws, clad with the flames of amber circuit. Oh, it's these things that they got from us. Bright red light periodically blinks at the corner of the relic's crest section. A painful cry escapes the hero's lips, and the butter knife clinks down onto the floor soon after the bones in his wrist crack. The heat from the relic's aura singes the husky's foe. The dog tries to kick, but the panther moves his free hand to catch a leg and tosses his whole body way up above their heads. Where a huge yellow flash and revving sound of chains of liberty thrusting power, the cheetah bashes Moon against the ceiling. I see the husky's pained grimace as he falls back down towards the metal floor. There's his Siamese cat, where the Siamese cat waits with wide-spread arms. The badge of holding glows. And right before the dog has a chance to bite the feline's head off, the air around them implodes with a brief glow. To surprise, Rune Moon bashes against the floor with a dozen sturdy chains wrapped tightly around his body. A bloodied foam drips from his battered nose as he gasps for air. The lynx approaches him and arms the tip of his own relic at his face or aims. Sorry, I'm trying to do both reading faster in an action scene, but also attempting to read. The still unnamed ancient sword with a white handle and a thin black blade. It buzzes with the wielder's magic, making the light around the blade's edge reflect as it slices through the metal chains and as effortlessly as they were made of hot rubber. You're doing worse and worse, dog. Even I gave you a weapon this time. Or maybe it's just us getting better at wielding your treasure. What do you think? Nothing to say? It must be rather humiliating for you, huh? Boasting a victory over poisoned and disarmed opponents, 5 against 1, precisely the insolence one would expect of your kind. Lend them a real weapon and see what happens. Oh, Lord Tangleroot wants to have a round too? He is a respectable fighter as well, for a dog at least. He doesn't even need a weapon. A canine claw to fighting style, huh? What do you think, Acri? Should we give him a chance? We can take him one-on-one, no problem. And you, Husky? So I'm kind of wondering if it isn't that the cat's trying to fight alone and that one guy attacked, but it was a combined thing of the rogue dogs and the felines. That would be the thing. And you, Husky? Connect with him. Be his weapon. Show me what your canine unity can do. Howl to your heart's content. Nobody will hear you here. I hear the rattling of chains as buried Tangleroot gets dragged away from the nearby cell. Sounds like somebody's getting stabbed. Or something. The moment I catch a glimpse of Shagbark's grin, I look away. I stare at the wall, try my best to cut myself away from everything happening around me. The mocking voices, the howls of desperation, the sounds of fighting, and the painful grunts. Furry is a dangerous fighter indeed, but even if he managed to gain Ruin's combat expertise through pack mentality, it would all amount to nothing in the end. The cats are sure of their victory. What they do now is playing with the prey until we exhaust all our strength. They're breaking both our bodies and spirits out of pure cruelty. Yes, our spirits, our canine unity. I've lived with the cats of the Opal Pride to learn the depth of their disdain for the canines. Maximus and I went through the same upbringing. There is no greater pleasure for them than to see our unity shatter. Eventually, both Burry and Rune get tossed back into their respective cells. They're both dripping blood over the floor. The cats could have killed us at any moment, but some of us are more useful than them broken, but still alive. At their current advantage, they can afford that. I really tried, but why didn't you connect, Rune? I don't know. Why did you not tell me? Your presence is so distant. It's like your mind wasn't there when I searched. You're a trained soldier. That should not be an issue for you. It is a double-way street, must I remind you. Yes, it is. That's why it won't work if your mind wanders. What are you thinking about? Is it your brothers again, right? Of course, I think about them. Can you blame me? If I fall here, they will... Bloody hell, Burry. Forget about that for just one moment. We are the ones who need you right now. Right here, you oaf. Just like we needed you when the enemy lurked inside shelter, when Luke disappeared. No worries. He's there with Acri somewhere, you said, while getting your bottom drunk. So blissfully untroubled when he was already missing for days. I wonder how intoxicated you were at the time when they ambushed me. Like you're one to talk. I know you sneaked out to keep doing your experiments instead of looking for them on your own. Why should I worry when you don't? Of course I worry. But I had work to do, and you... And I what? You think I don't care about shelter? Sometimes I wonder. You... Bravo. Beautiful. Simply perfect. No notes. Oh, the fragility of canine power. How pathetic each of you is individually. No wonder you can't lay a finger on us, even in fair combat. Without your unity and banding you up with other doggies, you're all so weak. So I was kind of feeling something, but then I'm like, maybe it's all just for show. Because that's what these cats want, which will probably let their guard down, and that's when we attack. And now, without even your relics, you are nothing. Come on, Pondus. We don't need to rub salt in the wound. They're about to jump at each other's throats already. We have much better things to do. Shagbar, be a good boy and keep an eye on your friends for us, will ya? The Lynx flashes one of Luke's access cards before leaving the room with the other felines. Only Shagbark and a few other dogs from the eternal winter knots stay to keep watch on us. The knots made the deal with the cats. Out of hatred and a thirst for revenge, they commit to siding with one of the enemies of canine kind. They help them hide and stay unnoticed inside the basements until they are recovered from shelter sickness. Oh, so has it been quite a while? Not sure. Their involvement was the worst case scenario I should have accounted for, regardless of how improbable it seemed. Now, we're all paying the price for my many mistakes. We cannot let them get to us, Rune. We shall figure something out. We cannot fight with each other. Oh no, please, do go on. You can't even imagine how entertaining this is to watch you squabble. They're using you, Shagbark. They'll get rid of you as soon as you outlive your purpose. Probably. Wouldn't it be the first something like that happened? At least, they would be more honest about it. Do you have a death wish? Woof. Well said, Alpine. For the things you've done to us, A grudge? Really? Don't act like a victim here, asshole. We tried reason with you over and over, like with a pup. You were the one poisoning our community. Believe me, mate, I was bloody shocked when they told me you were being escorted to trial. I really was. But even I understood that was for the best. You and your dogs need to go if we were to achieve the shelter we dreamed about. One built on unity. Shagbark's eyes widen in shock. He looks around at ourselves, one after another, his lips part, showing his teeth. And then he starts laughing. He laughs so loudly that even the class elements in our cells shake from his deep, bellowing voice. I only listen in discomfort, already fearing the uncomfortable truth. He's really about to dump us. Unity? Really? What is that exactly? Huh? Honesty? Companionship? Compassion? Loyalty? Or is it just another lie you tell yourselves while you use others to get what you want? I know. You must be thinking it's funny of me to talk about virtues when you all consider me and my pack the bad boys, right? But you are not any better. I really don't understand that, guys. Please, someone explain something to me. You may all hate me, and I understand that. I even fucking respect that. I hate you too. That's very honest. But how can you claim you got rid of me to build shelter on Unity when you all still hate each other? That's not true. Not in the slightest. You're being absurd. Yeah, you won't manage to pit us against each other. You don't even realize how much we've gone through together. Our bond is as strong as a tempered steel. Yes, and we talked everything over with Rune. No matter what each of us has done in the past, I forgave him and... Excuse me? You forgave me? For what? What have I ever done to you? It's not the point, Rune. No, seriously. What did I do that required forgiveness from you out of all people? Well, for starters, you tried to kill me and Luke. You treated both of us like trash when you first came here. I would say that was fairly significant. I took pity on you and saved your bloody life, right after you literally mass-murdered my whole bloody platoon. Even all of the good boys who stood up to me for your sake. See, this is your own choice in the end. I know that was wrong of me to do, but had no good options left. You forced me into the corner. See. But you understand why I did that. You decided to forgive me, right? Exactly. You can rest assured I had no grudge anymore. Oh man, to be called out like that. And by Shagbark, of all people. He's right. I hate you. I hate your damn guts. And why wouldn't I? You're a terrible person. You're like a monster in the skin of a dog. Everything I told you that day on the frozen lake still stands. I know what my sins are, but your crimes are a completely different beast altogether. Killing all my boys in cold blood, killing your whole research team, killing all those dogs in the most gruesome ways for years of research before that. The innocents, the children, your own brothers. Don't you dare. Kinda a pattern for you, isn't it? I never said that out loud, but I never really stopped feeling comfortable around you. None of us could ever know when you'd snap again. You haven't murdered anyone in quite a while, huh? I hope you don't need to get your fix or something. I never did any of that because I wanted to. I had no choice. I am a changed dog now. I'll never look at my past with pride. But there is something I can do about that. What matters is what we do moving forward. I'm working for the good of shelter every day. But you eat food I cook, drink the alcohol I regularly restock from Marsbrook, and what I do in my spare time is none of your darn business. None of your dog business. Your only job is to keep us safe, and you failed that. You have no right to criticize me for irrelevant matters from the past while you rot corrupted in the present. It's like all the time is spare time for you. Like all time is spare time for you. Oh, you sure wish that was true. Anything to antagonize me. I do care about shelter. I train our boys for battles outside. I try to get involved in our matters at all times. Even the deal with the Grove, for Max's sake, was my plan. I collected the relics. And you gave Luke all of them without contacting me, just so he could give them to this traitor. Everything fell apart when we stopped being on the same page, just because you and Luke thought you knew better. By bringing fucking cats into our den. Of course I'd trust Luke. It's just that I would never expect him to lie to me. Someone is being awful quiet. Awfully. Nothing to say? The grand speeches about the power of friendship and canine unity, Ackery? I say, I kinda hope for you to wag your tongue more than this. Let them finally see for themselves what kind of piece of shit you really are. It doesn't matter. I failed. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. You got what you wanted. Living sources of feeling man and shelter. I can feel it, you know, the changes. The air feels different. Hard to describe it. And look, you even got all the tools to help your little brother. Isn't that great? Next time you see him, you can fix whatever is wrong with him. I look at the tools in the corner of my cell. The arrangement of different scalpels, clasps, tubes, some of those weird instruments I can't even name, nor do I know how they work exactly, but I know each of them. They are genuine. It is a complete set of tools they always use to maintain Max's body after missions. They left them with me instead of hiding or breaking them, just to torture me further with their sight. I almost feel like breaking them myself. In the end, I just avert my gaze. Oof. I know, right? Missioner's brother was always his rabid button. What happened? I guess he isn't as bargy anymore without his little bro by his side. I guess he was always more of his bodyguard than family in the end. Just another dog to use and discard. Do you remember him, Ackery? Max? the most boring, forgettable dog in the whole shelter. When you're not there to pull his strings, what purpose does he even serve? Luke said it was all his own idea, this whole deal, but I don't buy it. Luke is naive, but not stupid. It was all you, wasn't it, Ackery? You manipulated him. You were the one who steered him into our doom. Yeah. Answer me. Yes. You're aware what is going to happen now, right, Ackery? They're keeping us alive only because both of you, were more valuable this way. You bury for your knowledge, and Rune? Well, killing Rune will benefit nobody but the Crimson Royal Grove. Right now, in Shelter, he's unreachable to them. There'll be no moon fighting on their side as long as the current incarnation lives. If the cats kill Rune now, he will just get reborn somewhere among the canines, and the Grove will reclaim him to resume his training. Instead, the cats will probably sell him to one of his enemies to be locked and bound as a trophy in some unreachable place for decades, until the end of his natural lifespan. I should have dropped you to your death that time we flew through the skies. I knew you were a lying, manipulative piece of crap, but I thought you still had the good of everyone in mind. I gave you the benefit of the doubt for Luke's and for your brother's sake. But you didn't deserve any of that. You used both of them. Shelter, all of those relics, Luke, and our whole community. All forfeit. Yeah, sucks, doesn't it? Honestly, I expected all of you to be this stupid, but the human? That has always been the problem with him, isn't it? Nobody can understand what he thinks, so you assume there's a bunch of smart boy thoughts in that shaggy head. Smart boy thoughts. But in the end, he only has dumb boy thoughts. I don't know, I was trying to make a joke. But in the end, he was just as dumb and exploitable as the rest of us. I really thought things would be different here in Shelter. I hoped I'd finally be free. I thought I could learn to trust and care about people again, and be cared for in return. But in the end, it was far from that. First, assholes, like these bloody winter nuts, trample over our hard work, and then even my friends turn on me. In the end, I had no friends here, only more schemes and enemies hidden behind smiles. Well, out of all dogs, you have no right to complain, Rune. Everyone has always been on your side, pampering you. You say that now only because... Shut up, you self-righteous, judgmental prick. Every time you open your maw, it's only to spew more vitriol. Then again, every time you stay quiet, I know you still judge me in the worst possible ways. There's just no winning with you. You are the ones who keep bringing up the past like you are faultless. You're not. And you're only going to deceive me with your fool's act like you managed to convince the others. You do not deserve our kindness. You do not belong here. And I have always known it was too good to be true. In the end, the bubble finally bursts. Shelter, Luke, our unity, everything's a lie. Everything, Oh, shut up already! Yes, shut up. Stop talking. Both of you. After everything you've done, you've no right to shush anyone, you despicable... Yes, I fucked up. I lied to all of you for months, and it was me who put you all in this crap. I never cared for any of you. I'm a terrible dog who tramples over others like the cobblestones to get what he wants on cobblestones. Shelter, Luke, even my own heart, nothing but tools. I acted like a savior to your community, but since the very start, I was the poison rotting it from the inside. Now, I don't even need to hide that. Oh, using honesty tactic? Surely, we will feel bad for you now. I'm literally incapable of caring about what you think of me. Whatever emotion of mine you could have ever touched with your empathy, or even seen on my face with your eyes, none of it was ever genuine. But me, being unable to feel true emotions, is exactly what I know gives me confidence in telling the truth from a lie. And right now, I'm just baffled. I'm here. I'm the source of everything wrong happening right now. You should be putting all of that hatred on me. But you don't. Both of you are being thick-headed and stupid. And decide to lash out at the very people who love you the most instead. You're stupid. We hate each other. Of course not. You're bitter and hurt, but that doesn't change the fact you've always acted like true family. I can see it in the comfort you feel when you see Burry at the tavern for the first time every morning. Your concern when he's not there. Whenever you ask me if I know why Burry is late with his provisions from Morsbrook, it's pretty clear it isn't just the provisions you're worried about. And every time the excavations group seeks your advice on planning your trip routes, you always lead them with a safe distance away from Burry's experimentation site, while loyally keeping a secret. You've always cared for him in 100 different little ways, never expecting thanks, or even an acknowledgement for any of that. It was purely out of concern for Burry. Yeah, and I wish it didn't. I gave my whole heart to this pack, and he's doing the same for you, or been doing the same for you. You know that wide crack in the bar in the tavern he never explained to you? One morning, you didn't come to the tavern, and someone told Burry you got sick. He panicked so much, he slipped and bashed that counter with his head. He borrowed a pretty expensive relic from me, and then bit into it with his own teeth just so he could absorb the charge of Surian mana inside it. He ran to your room. But I wasn't sick. I was stuck on Thistle's knot. That's a little guy. And Burry just barges in, makes things awkward, and blasts us with magic, ice wind, or some crap. If he didn't care about you, do you think he would make such a fuss every time over all those things concerning you? Why do you think he always argues whenever you order another refill or ale? Why do you think your bowls of meats too always have extra greens? He cares about your health. He cares about you. Yes, once a husky gets fat and lazy, it's hard for one to get back in shape again. Hey, we've all done some awful stuff to each other, and the world in the past. You can't expect everyone to forget and forgive, no matter how much you think you've changed or atoned. But you're not everyone. You're Burry and Rune, and you have a bond that you don't want to sever, a good friendship. You're angry and hurt right now, and that's exactly why right now you have to be more open and understanding than ever. Hatred makes you forget the good memories, or even worse, recall them in all dark in your mind. You do that, and he does that too. You have to approach each other with full awareness of that, or else the truth of who you are to each other will get buried under the lies and falsifications. What would you even know about friendship? The only person you've ever cared about was Max. Have I? I wonder. Right now, I'm not sure about him either. Oof. No, Alpine. I don't think I did it all this for Max. Yes, he was the only thing in my life that made me feel like I was a real person, with a real heart. He made me rage, cry, push me forward to do all those ridiculous things. But the more time I spent here in this pack, the less I thought about Max and more about Shelter. This place and these dogs became my new Max, something grand and personal to justify my ambitions and whims. I thought Shelter was speaking through me, but now I know it was nothing but just my hypocrisy given voice. You know, I have a hard time even remembering Max's face right now, even though it's the same as my own. Ironic. I'm the same as you, Shagbark, but you're better than me. Oh, here we go. You're selfish, cruel, self-serving, reckless moron. You trample on other dogs to get whatever you set your eyes on, without any care for their feelings, or even their lives. But you, unlike me, have always been honest with yourself. Don't test me, Akri. Unlike these two, you have little use for the cats. Alright, for the cats or from the cats? Okay. And I have no tolerance for your bullshit. Yes, the cats. You even made the same mistakes as me, siding with enemies of your own kind. Shut up. If you wag your tongue one more time. Remember the first time we met? How furious you got when you even dared to insinuate you were less of a canine than them? What happened to that dog, Shagbark? Shut up. Suddenly, the gate in my cell slams open, and Shagbark lunges at me, pinning me to the wall. I stare into his eyes, with tears of both rage and distress. I was nothing like you, but you made me like this. You made me like this. You and your fucking tongue. I'm too shocked and upset to answer at first. My lips part in a gasp, seeing his tears. Now, I finally understand the full extent of what I'd done to this man. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I don't have enough time to react when he stuffs his claws inside my mouth and pulls the full length of my tongue out. I can only scream when his teeth pierce through my flesh. His jaws clench and grind. He rips most of it off with the merciless shake of his head. I fall to the ground and coil in excruciating pain, desperately clasping my hands around my profusely bleeding mouth. Even as Rune's loud shout and the noise of desperate banging against the cell door are enough to muffle the sickening sounds of chewing right above me, and then swallowing. As foul as one would expect. Try to raise my head, but can only catch a short glance at his wide, bloodied grin before I choke on various fluids in my throat. I have no choice but to put my face back down. I need to stop the bleeding somehow, but my mind is blank. My limbs won't move. I only clench and tremble, rolled in a ball on the floor, completely defeated, humiliated, mutilated. A fitting, painful end to a despicable dog. What was even the point of it all? Shagbark's heavy knees slammed near my head. I expected him to grab me by my neck and toss me to the ground, or bite me or something. However, nothing like that happens. I can't use empathy in my current state, so I muster the courage to stare up at him with caution. And I see his heavily panting chest, trembling shoulders, and the tears-wetted face of utter shame that he won't dare to show to anyone else in the room, as he refuses to even make a sound. What have you done, Shagbark? This... This is beyond cruel. You're not a dog. You're a No. You're right. I'm sorry, Shagbark. We have all failed you. But this? Is this really who you think you are? Look at me in the eyes and tell me this is what you and your pack wanted. Revenge, I understand. But all this, hurting all those innocents in the shelter, just to get back at us? How much do you really have to destroy before you're satisfied? Was Lane not enough for you? What? Lane? Or Lane? Everyone who had hurt you in this room, everyone who had hurt you is in this room right now. You did not have to enact revenge on all the dogs at shelter. On that day, we learned you killed Lane. I didn't kill Lane. It was an accident. We just wanted justice for all that shit you put us through. You sold us to the Grove. We started robbing you and setting up traps. But that rock slide was an accident. I swear. We didn't want to kill anyone. We're no dog killers. And Lane, maybe I was a little rough on him back in shelter, but I didn't hate him. Lane was a good boy. Oof. I know. I was always proud of being canine. You had your outlandish, stupid idea of how shelters should have functioned, but none of that was natural. You know that, right? Everything me and my pack had ever done is just normal dog behavior. You're the weird ones. You and your human. So you abandoned me. And then I realized how much I lost. Instead of leaving you be, we decided to destroy what we couldn't have anymore. Or maybe we were never fit to have in the first place. We became stray dogs once again, and then, by killing Lane, a boy so good and pure, You're asking why we're siding with the cats now? Well, we can't fucking call ourselves dogs anymore, can we? He storms off, leaving us with only a couple of dogs from his guild. Alpine being one of them. He looks around at us, then back at the corridor, where Shagbark went. His stare lingers at me, with deep sadness reflecting in his eyes. I think with us hitting the even 38-minute mark, that's a good time to call it. Man, I mean, I like my tongue being in someone else's mouth. Not in that way. No. 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 Anyways, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So, please comment, cause I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos I've been growing. Please remember to expand your animal step control the pit population. It's funny looking back at this game, because this game is what got me back into visual novels. Because it was like, I did more Natsu and Nekojishi, and then I didn't do them for a while. And then I was looking at porn sites, and this game came up, and was like, oh, well, playing so I can get off to it. And then I didn't see any horny in the beginning, so then I, didn't play it. And then I was, at work. Well, having time off at work. Because, I work on ships, so, and I was like, what am I going to do? Oh, is that bar up there? Dog darn it. If I open OBS wrong, then it leaves a little bit of this up here and cuts off a little bit of that down there. Dog darn it. But it do be like that sometimes. It's kind of hard to see when, you're in your main menu and, hey, it's all white. Though I guess there's this part up here. Much better than the dogs that live next door. But yeah, then I was like, I don't really have any idea what to do right now. Let's check out Shelter again. And I liked its funniness so much, I'm like, fuck, I'm going to play it as Let's Plays. Anyways, yeah. Oh, if you want to play this game, free on itch.io, or $5 a month on Patreon, or $50 a month if you do it annually. I think that's everything. Spay neuter. I'm really sorry, that just came out of nowhere. Spay neuter animals, and until next time, me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter version 3.5. Thanks and see ya.